guys, what's up? My name is Rachel and welcome back to my channel, The Reading Otter 7. So today I'm doing another book haul. I feel like I should just make like Haul Friday or something, because at this point I do so many hauls. Yeah, it's so bad. And like, I'm like, oh, I've been doing a lot of reading lately, because I finished like 5 books in like 2 weeks, which is impressive. And I'm like, so it's fine, I can buy books. But then half of the books that I've read, I borrowed from a friend, so like, haven't helped my TBR at all. And I just keep buying. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get into it because I have 14 books to show you. So, wow, that's bad, because I just did a 17 book outlet haul. Not dwelling on the past and moving forward though, let's just go ahead and do it. So the first book is not one of mine. This is actually Beth's, and it is The White Queen by Philippa Gregory. I don't know a whole lot about this. I honestly don't know like anything about it, but I know it is set in England, like way back when, and it's about somebody famous. So apparently it's a story before the Tudors. Cool. The next one I have is Nefertiti. It's about an Egyptian in a powerful family that has provided wives to the rulers of Egypt for centuries. Yeah, and apparently it's based on people from The Mummy, like the same people that The Mummy talks about. It's about them, so that's really cool. I've never read any Egyptian novels, so this is very intriguing, and it's my sister's, so she's probably gonna read it first, also because it probably interests her a little bit more, and if she says it's good, I might try this, because I especially love like Egyptian like fashion and hieroglyphics, so maybe I'll read it. That has nothing to do with book content, but whatever. So the next one, this one is actually mine. And that is Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. This is her memoir. I actually listened to the audiobook of this like last year, and I absolutely adored it. I thought it was brilliant, and of course it was better because she read it. And I'd been eyeing getting a copy for a very long time, and the other day I was in Target and I was like, screw it. And so I bought it, and I have absolutely no regrets. I love this book, and I kind of want to reread it again now that I can like look at the pictures, because she always like, when she was doing the audiobook, she'd be like, see page 22 for this picture, and I'd be like, but I can't see page 22. So I want to reread it and just kind of see how the pictures tie in. The next one, I love this cover. I can't get enough of this cover. It's so cool looking. And that is Silver in the Blood by Jessica Day George. I don't know a whole lot about this, but the back says, I am the claw, I am the wing, I am the smoke. And I'm just like, what? And it has something to do with Dracula. It's like Dracula's family. I'm like living for this cover. So yeah, probably gonna have to pick it up just because the cover. Just so I can like walk around and like show everybody at work, like, look at the beautiful book I'm reading. This is stunning. But we got this at Second and Charles, so once again, not too expensive. This next one is The Lost Girl of Astor Street by Stephanie Morrill, or Morrill, I don't know how you say it. This is, I picked this one out too, and I can't even, okay, this one's about 1924 Chicago, and the first thing that caught me was the spine, and I love the cityscape, and the cover's just really pretty, but it's basically Downtown Abbey in downtown Chicago, and I don't really like, I'm not a fan of Downtown Abbey, except for like Dame Maggie Smith being in it, because she's amazing. But this just sounds really intriguing, and I love like 1924 like Chicago, because it's like speakeasies and flapper girls and like all that kind of stuff, so I'm like intrigued. Next one is Evernight by Claudia Gray. I hope, I'm praying this is the first book in her first series. God, I hope so, because that's why I bought it. But I didn't even really have to read much. I just opened the cover and I was like, ooh, it's about a boarding school, and it's Claudia Gray, mine! So, I have a serious Claudia Gray problem. Next one is An Inheritance of Ashes by Leah Bobbitt. I think this is visually stunning, first off, and I think that's what drew me to it eventually, but it's also of like a very dark sounding one, and it's about like a war and this girl who gets caught up in it, and it just, I don't really have a way to describe it to you, but it just sounds really cool, and I love the cover. And I also got The Archived by Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab. This one just sounds really cool. It's about like a library of like dead people who are called histories, and like the keepers of this library, and like the histories keep like getting altered and like destroyed by somebody, and so she has to like figure out who's destroying the histories. It just sounds like very intriguing, and I love the inside pages. They're very like Haunted Mansion looking, so I'm excited to read this. This next one, I'm kind of ashamed. We were like in Walmart and I saw this and I was like, ooh, yeah, because it's like my favorite thing in the world, Star Wars. I had heard nothing about this book, and then we found it in Walmart, and I was like, Star Wars from 40 different points of view by 40 different authors? What? And like, when you read the inside cover, it gives you like a snippet of a couple of the ones that are in here, and like, yeah, okay. Let me just read the ones that are listed on the inside, and I was sold. Okay. Gary Whitta bridges the gap from Rogue One to A New Hope through the eyes of Captain Antilles. Aunt Beru finds her voice in an intimate character study by Meg Cabot. Somebody I can't pronounce brings dignity and depth to a most unlikely character, the monster in the trash compactor. Pablo Hidalgo provides a chilling glimpse inside the mind of Grand Moff Tarkin. Will Wheaton, yeah, like, come on, spins a poignant tale of the rebels left behind on Yavin. Excuse me, I'm there for that already. Plus 35 more hilarious, heartbreaking, and astonishing tales. What? Like, heck yeah! And this book was absurdly expensive. But I was like, 40 years of Star Wars, 40 different points of view, all these cool sounding stories that are gonna fill in everything I've ever wanted to know. Because like, one of the biggest things for me is like, what happened between all this time that we're missing between 6 and 7? And it sounds like a lot of these are gonna fill that in. And so I'm like, yes! So yes. Claudia Gray wrote one of these. Damn. Like, yeah, I had to have it. This next one is The Start of Me and You. I'm ranting about Star Wars too much. We need to move on. By Emery Lord. I don't know anything about this, but it's beautiful. And it's contemporary. And we like to have contemporaries that are just on standby, because sometimes, you know, like, we read a lot of fantasy, and sometimes you just need a good contemporary to break up all the fantasy. So we tend to just, if it's pretty and it's an author we know and it sounds even slightly intriguing, we like buy it. So yeah. And that is Daughter of Deep Silence by Carrie Ryan. As you can see, we got it from Second & Charles for like $4.95. I'm just gonna read the back to you, and this should like clue you in. I am the daughter of murdered parents. I am the friend of a dead girl. I am the lover of my enemy, and I will have my revenge. Ooh. I don't know anything about it, but that sounds cool. I think it takes place on a cruise ship. On a yacht. I was right. Next one is also a beautiful, beautiful book. And that is Under a Painted Sky by Stacey Lee. This takes place in 1849 Missouri. And Samantha, our main character, is trying to get back to New York to be a professional musician, but a tragic accident kind of forces her to not get back to New York. I'm doing a really horrible job of explaining here. But it's basically about life on the Oregon Trail in that time and how unsafe it is, especially for a girl traveling alone. So, yeah. I'm very interested because I feel like there's not a lot of books about this time period, or at least if there are, they don't get a lot of hype. And I mean, that's a very important time period in our history, so it's really cool to have novels, even if they're not historically accurate, kind of set in that time. This next one, I probably will never read, is A School for Brides by Patrice Kindle. This is Beth's book through and through. It's a school for brides. There's really not a whole lot else to say. I mean, it's about a school for brides. And this last book, okay, I'm probably gonna rant about this book for a couple of minutes, so just get ready. Rant in a good way, in a great way. And that is The Princess Saves Herself, in this one by Amanda Lovelace. This was my first poetry book that I've ever read, and I tabbed the heck out of it. This was beautiful. I might get emotional. This is not a review, it's supposed to be a haul, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. And it's not gonna be very long, I promise. And if you don't want to hear it, just like turn it off. This book was beautiful, and it literally changed my life, okay? I hated poetry before I read this book because all I'd known about poetry was what I'd read in school. And so I read this one because everyone on BookTube had been talking about it, and I love the idea of the princess saves herself. And so I just decided to go pick it up at Target, and I read it all in 2 hours because it was so good. I just couldn't put it down. I kept turning page after page. This is so impactful and powerful, and it's just such an important, like, topic for us to talk about. You know, like, we don't need, nobody really needs their significant other or somebody to give them their worth. Like, you can save yourself, and I think that's really powerful and poignant, and I love Amanda for sharing her story with us and empowering us to save ourselves. And the back says, the story of a princess turned damsel turned queen, and I love that. So, yeah, and I read this book, and now I have read like 5 poetry books, and I want more. So this book has definitely changed my perspective on poetry, and I would highly, highly recommend this to anyone, female or not, because it's just so empowering. Yeah, and I'm glad that was the last book in the haul, because now I'm all like kind of emotional. Anyway, dang. So yeah, you guys should totally read this book. But yeah, so that's all that we have for this haul. In like the past month, we've probably accumulated like 50 books. I feel like I should be more ashamed than I am, but I'm really not. Yeah, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you've read any of these that I haven't read and what you thought of them. Let me know if there's any of these books that you haven't read either, but you're really excited to try and read someday. So yeah, just let me know your thoughts. So be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for more awesome content. And hey, drop me a comment. I'd love to talk to you guys. See you guys next time.